Hey, Shalom, Shalom, call halal, Yahal Bashim, Yahal Bashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at the S. Salutations to the elect throughout the four corners. Men, women, and children that believe are the 1/3. Drop another video for y'all. In the name of Yahal Bashim, Yahweh Shai. I want to touch on this topic. Quick news article I stumbled across. It reads, fed up migrants who trek thousands of miles to the U.S. already heading back home. The American dream don't exist. So, this place is falling at a rapid rate. And, people from the outside looking in, they don't know what goes on here, especially like the northern tribes, right? Or they think, well, whatever goes on there is better than where we come from. And that's not necessarily the case, because Babylon has a lot of, different destruction from where y'all come from. Like, you have cartels, there's gangs here, there's drugs here, the cartels is here, set up through the MS-13, the Mexican mafia, and so on. You have homelessness here. You have, your children become westernized. They get hooked on video games. They lose their culture. The women not traditional. So this is the worst place on the planet. The valley of the shadow of death. And y'all tribes, you're going to find out the hard way. But I'm going to read into some of this article. It says some Venezuelan migrants who trek thousands of miles to the U.S. in search of a better life are so disheartened that they are already headed back home. So, imagine you travel thousands of miles to get somewhere thinking in search of a better life, and you found out it's hell. You like, yo, we might as well go back home, And I'm gonna get the scriptures, to hit these different points, but I want to read this article. But for y'all that's in the know, many scriptures shall just come to your mind, even if you've been in this thing 6 months. As I read this article, many scriptures shall come to your mind. But I'm going to touch on like a few of them once it's over. Michael Castleton, 39, told the Chicago Tribune he has enough after he, his wife, his teenage stepdaughter spent 5 months sleeping either in the police precinct or a crowded city shelter in the now brutal, cold, windy city. So there you go, right? So, you coming from Venezuela, and the U.S., the reason these countries down there are so poor, the U.S., fuck them. The West has fucked them for their resources and so on. And Venezuela is bubbling with oil, down there. It's a new phone. I got all these pop-ups and shit. I gotta figure this phone out. You know how it is switching over to a new jack. But Venezuela is like the Iran of the East, but they got a halt and sanctions on them with their oil, so they real poor. So it's like, they can't, they bubbling with all this oil. It says Asher shall dip his foot, and Asher shall dip his foot in oil. Let me get that. I think that's Genesis. That's Satan. That's Genesis. I gotta probably get rid of this Bible app. It's pretty good. I'm gonna probably just pay for a better one. This Genesis 49. Everything free ain't fucking good. Sometimes you gotta pay to get something of better quality. A lot of that free shit be a headache. Let me see. Asher Now, just giving breakdowns on the tribes in the last days. Judah, okay, Simeon, Judah, Zebulon, Issachar, right here, verse 20. Moving fast, I jumped over it. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. And they got a lot of oil down there, as far as the corn and so on. But it's another one that says he shall dip his foot in oil. Fruitful bow. Let me see. I don't want to get off the topic. But it says he shall dip his foot in oil and in the iron. So Venezuela, got the resources, and that's kind of like Ham, the land of Ham. They got all these diamonds and gold, the Gold Coast and all that shit, but they don't have access or benefit to it because Amalek up in there exploiting them for all their goods. And Amalek is a small hats for y'all that don't know. Let me finish this article. Yeah, so it says him and his wife, teenage daughter, spent 5 months sleeping either in a police precinct, which is like, sleeping on a fucking bench. Know what I mean? Like, in a police station, like, because all the resources dried up. A lot of them got there late, so they kind of there just to find out that they even fucked even harder. And the weather, you landed in New York, because they ain't going to put you up in the best of the best neighborhoods. They gonna put you in these inner cities. They were sending a lot of those buses to New York. Mayor Adams caught a lot of heat for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But or in a crowded city shelter, where the C-19 still floating around. You got homelessness. You don't speak English like that. You speak Spanish, you in the country, that not very few, but it's a lot of Spanish speaking people around, but some people you probably have complications speaking with. You probably have hard time finding work, due to that you don't have your papers, or it might take longer for your papers to go through. So you got to eat what they give you. And the weather is fucked up, especially Chicago. Like, you take somebody from South America or Brazil and shit like that, where it's nice all year round, they got beautiful weather, and you put them in fucking cold-ass Chicago, man, you gonna feel that shit, man. I visited Chicago years ago. I visited brother Malcolm, Uriah, Benji, and them brothers. Beautiful brothers, by the way. Shout out to those brothers. Shalom. But, we actually drove down there in the wintertime. That shit is like no joke. The Lord blessed us, though, a couple of those days out there to actually have good weather. So that was good. But, Chicago, matter of fact, they got a thing in Chicago, the GMS Chicago brothers. If you could survive a Chicago winter coming out to camp consistently, they would consider it like crossing you over, And that's how brutal it was, because it take a lot of faith just to like deal with that. That cold out there be biting. So the tribes coming here like, we ain't built for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, all this extra shit that's happening, man, we fucking out. Like, my family might get sick, catch pneumonia, and fucking die here. Let me see. There's some more on this. All these pop-ups. Salakia. So the resources running thin. My bad. I just got to get used to this phone. Y'all probably like, what the hell is he doing? I'm trying to find the rest of this article. Okay. Back to the Windy City. I believe it was like more on that. Okay, let me try to pull up another one. Windy City. He also has been unable to secure a job permit or enroll his daughter in a local school. You know what I'm saying? That's them right there. You know, so shit fucked up. And that show you the nigga woman, man. That shit make you mad. Because here it is, you got, look, she look good too. Not to be covering on the brother's wife, but here it is, you got a poor dude come from a third world country to the U.S. with his wife. He's sleeping in shelters on the precinct, trying to do the best he could. And what? His woman sticking by his side, man. But you fucking nigga woman, man, you fucking, you Southern Kingdom, man, and you inner city black woman, man, y'all find the simplest reasons to leave your dude, man, and I just recommend not dealing with you. Like, I tell brothers do what they want. I ain't trying to dick police, but if you ask me, man, like, just deal with the other tribes. If you want to nigga woman, go get you one of them West African jakes if you like black woman per se. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, she look, that's kind of them right there. So no jobs, no nothing. Let me see if I can get the full story. He also been local schools. Two of the main reasons they thought they would bring a better life to the U.S. The American dream doesn't exist anymore. Castleton told the paper on the eve of his family's departure. And the shit never existed. Really, it was just an illusion. And if it did exist, it existed for the Edomites and sellout Jakes. There's nothing here for us. We just want to be home, Castleton told the Tribune of the South American country he earlier fled. If we're going to be sleeping in the streets here, we'd rather be sleeping in the streets over there. Yeah, because at least it's warm. You know what I mean? At least you probably got fruit growing on the trees that you can eat of. And the northern tribes is like more loving. See, America is a capitalistic society, so it's more cutthroat. But like when Maria hit Puerto Rico, the Ephraimites down there, they came together. They was giving each other. My ex-girl, like, she lived out there. That's how I know off of firsthand. Ponce, Puerto Rico, Louisa, and all of that. They was out there helping each other out, you know, cooking for each other, cooking for the neighborhood, and all of that shit. So, it says, there's nothing here for us. We just want to be home. We'd rather be sleeping on the streets. So it says more than 20,000 migrants have made their way to Chicago since August 2022, when Republican Texas Governor Adam Scott began loading them onto buses and shipping them off to sanctuary cities like Chicago, New York. Many of them ended up sleeping on the Hearn International Airport, at local police stations, or in the streets. Fed up with the lack of housing and job opportunities, Castleton eventually followed in the footsteps of other disillusioned asylum seekers and turned to the Catholic charities to obtain a plane ticket for his family to travel to Texas. Right, so, and it's funny, like, they brought you there, like, all right, get on the bus, we gonna ship you here, ship you there, but they not trying to ship you out, because America ain't nothing but a big-ass prison. You had to go get to the church, and lucky you was able to obtain a ticket, or because you ain't got no funds and no money. Now, I mean, you barely got shelter. You probably eating out of soup kitchens, And yeah, hey, some of them gonna stay here. The northern tribes real loving. You know what I mean? Motherfucking Latin King roll up on you. Hey, what's up, Holmes? You all right? You and your family all right, Holmes? You could live with us. Know what I mean? And probably, and what, these dudes turn to gangs and shit. Because one thing about gangs got a lot of negativity to it, but one thing about gangs, it promotes, like, unity. It promotes brotherhood to an extent, so-called brotherhood. So a lot of them are going to, like, turn to these streets, and these gangs going to get bigger. You know what I mean? They're going to get more violent. They be like, don't worry, Mariella and Shantez, well, they're going to be cool, Holmes. They going to be cool. You know what I mean? And they'll take you in. You know what I mean? And look, move this pack or do this, do that. And what, you be like, damn, you know what I mean? These migrants and shit came over here, and a lot of them didn't find work. Some of them left, but some of them just joined the street life and was trying to eat off of that to feed their family. For there they shall somehow find a way to return to native Venezuela, he said, from Texas, because he like, man, fuck that. We'll walk across the border, or we'll hitchhike, which could be dangerous. So, you know what I mean? You could have just stayed where the fuck you was at. But how many more months of living in the streets will it take? No more. It's better that I leave, he said. At least I have my mother back home, he said to the South American nation he fled earlier this year. Right, because you already, not always, but, you know what I mean? Mom Dukes ain't gonna leave the baby out in the motherfucking cold or in the street. Mom Dukes, even if Mom Dukes kick you and your bitch out, or sometimes Mom Dukes will tell wifey to go if they referee. Oh, she can't stay here. Or, you know what I mean? Or she'll take at least she'll take the kids off your hands. You know what I mean? You could put your wife up in there and you're like, all right, I'm going to go out here and figure things out. You know what I'm saying? And you got grandmas back home. See, look at these pictures. Shit fucked up. You know what I mean? New York, fucking Chicago, these different places, California. California's a real shithole. Leave Chicago, Windy City has grown colder and wetter, the paper found. Yeah, Chicago ain't no fucking joke. Some suggested have been drawn to Chicago after being wrongly led to believe they could be swiftly granted Elysium status and a working permit, paving the way for a better life. But shit, resources got thin. We know things would have been this hard, Council said. I thought the process was faster, and it possibly was, but all them resources got drained the fuck up. How many hotels and shit you think that's really out here? Others said that they had realized Chicago's limited resources has been depleted by wages of migrants that have overwhelmed the Democrat-led sanctuary city for over the past 16 months, leaving the last newcomers with nothing but scraps. So it is like, it's either like, they got to go back to what they know. And that's the beautiful thing of knowing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? And that's the judgment that's coming. Noah said he came to Chicago because he heard there was shelter, food, and other resources for Elysium seekers, but that's not true, he said. Yeah, look at they bids and shit, like, shit real. And it's going to get, hey, man, that's just them. You American citizens, that shit going to get like that for you, too. Like, you not exempt just because they so-called, you know what I mean, immigrants or legal aliens, how Esau call them. Like, that judgment gonna hit you too. Well, Salakia. I could read more, but I want to hit some of these scriptures because I'm tired as hell. I've been up all day, but no excuse. Let's hit some of these scriptures. This Hosea 9 and 13. It says, Ephraim I saw as Tyrus, and this Jeroboam, because he was the king of Ephraim. He was actually an Ephraimite, but Ephraim also represent the northern tribes, because when the kingdom split between Jeroboam and Rehoboam, Rehoboam was the king of Judah, and Jeroboam was the king of the north. So when he says Ephraim, a lot of times in the scriptures, yeah, you know, the so-called Puerto Ricans, but also the other 10 tribes, also 9 tribes. Ephraim I saw as Tyrus is planted in a pleasant place, which is Puerto Rico, and a lot of them lands down there in South America, you know. But Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer, right? And the murderer is who? Babylon. And that happened with the tribe of Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, in like the 1920s and 30s. They started migrating over here hard. But also with the northern tribes, they bringing their kids up here seeking a better life. This is the murderer. You know, it's going to murder their culture. It's going to murder their soul. It's going to turn your daughters to lesbos. It's going to turn your sons into homos or Decepticons, Transformers. You know, it's going to destroy gangbangers and shit like that. So this place will destroy you on all levels, even if you do get a piece or a crumb of the pie, you know? And that's what's happened. They bringing their children to the murderer, but they don't know it's the murderer. But a lot of them was finding out years later after being here, but now they finding out fast. Like, man, I only been here like fucking 3 weeks. I mean, or 3 months. You know what I mean? Or 6 months. I got to get the fuck up out of here. And you know, in the scriptures say they shall be as pilgrims on the earth. The elect, but also like people, because, you know, back in the day, people were nomadic. People, you know, we had to follow the food source. We had to follow the fish. Fish move. Like at certain times of year, you got to know where the fish at, even on the lake. Even fishing in the ocean, like they play a different coastline. They might be up in Boston this time of year. They might be in Long Island on this time of year. They might come back down the Jersey coastline this time of year. So you got to be able to follow like the food chain. Like birds do that shit. Everybody was like nomadic, you know. So people was looking for the resources where these different resources was at. Salakia. Winter time, so gotta start taking this oregano oil I got. That's what I gotta get some black seed. Start dumping shots of black seed when I pop up in the morning with the oregano. Keep my immune system tight. Probably get some elderberry. Also pour some elderberry up in there. But what else? What I was gonna grab? This a good one. I was going to get 2 in Isaiah, then close out. Isaiah 24. Now I'm going to get 30 first. 30 and 1 classical. Woe unto the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. Right. So they probably, when they came to Babylon, And you know, the Lord would have had it to where somebody opened their arms to them, or their paperwork got pushed through, or this and that. But they don't know the name of the Lord. The Lord snatched that from them. They can't call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua to deliver them, because they don't know the name. They wrapped up in that Catholic shit. You read the article. They probably was praying to Jesus and this and that. And guess what? Some of them probably might have been sincere, but it's significant in knowing that name. And the elect shall praise his holy name, like it says in Sirach 17:10. But not of me, right? And that take a covering with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. They walk to go down into Egypt, see? And that's heavy, because they actually walked to the borders, jumped on those buses and everything, and came to Egypt, because Babylon, America, is modern day Egypt, pursuant to Revelations 11 and 8 and various other scriptures. And have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, right? They wasn't seeking the prophets. They wasn't seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They were seeking help from Esau. They were seeking help from Esau's government, and to strength and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And America is it's not actual old Egypt, but it's a shadow, meaning everything how old Egypt was set up, everything it stood for, and the way it was designed. America is the perfect outline of that, because your shadow is not your actual body. Your shadow don't have organs. Your shadow don't have, capillaries and veins and arteries and tissues and tendons. Your shadow don't have that. But what your shadow is, it's a perfect outline. It's a mirror image of your actual body. So the shadow of Egypt actually represents America. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And that's exactly what happened, man. That's exactly what happened, which is like beautiful in a sense, because these scriptures is on point. And that's the tribe of Asher coming up. You got Issachar down there. They got to come through the borders of Mexico. But, Central America, you got Zebulon down there. You got Issachar. Then further south, you got Asher. Then going into Argentina, Chile, you got Naphtali. Those all like the northern tribes, But come to find out, hey, word going to spread quick. They going to go back down there. Hey, it's funny because a lot of Americans, they getting passports. You got passport bros and just different, not even dealing with like women and shit, but you got people getting their passports leaving this bitch. All together. One of the red pill dudes I watched, Ohim, he just went to Thailand for good. He got the fuck up out of here. He love it out there. Know what I mean? So a lot of Americans is bouncing from this bitch. Know what I mean? They taking the American dollar, they saving their bread, and they starting over. But they not moving. See, before you used to go to the next city. Like right now I'm in Baltimore. Compared to where I at, this shit kind of like more hellish in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But people not leaving like, oh, I'm going to leave this city and go to that city. Because the whole Babylon fucked up. And you actually the place you might go to, you might be like, oh shit, I probably should have stayed where the fuck I was at. Because with the place you might go to probably be even more hell, depending on how the Lord got the judgment hitting these different places. Because some places going to get hit a lot quicker. So a lot of people like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm getting my passport. I'm packing my family up, and we out of this bitch. We going over here. And even though you got less, but less is more, and you got more of a peace of mind. So like it. So yeah. So shadow of Egypt, your confusion, but people trust in this place. My bad. Isaiah 24, one of my favorite, and 9. This the DTA verse right here. They shall not drink wine with a song, Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Yeah, the whole Babylon is broken down. And some parts is worse than others. Like when I first got here to Baltimore, people talk, because they picked up on my accent quick as hell. And they like, yo, what the fuck you doing down here? I'm like, yo, I'm just visiting, you know. They like, why the fuck would you come visit this place? I'm trying to get out. So I met many people that's Jakes. You know, for Esau, it'd be like a different experience, you know. But the curse is going to start hitting them too. But a lot of Jakes, they like, man, I'm trying to save money to move the fuck up out of here. You know, I'm trying to like, you know what I mean? Old ladies like, yo, I got 2 more years before I retire and I'm moving to fucking Florida. They looking at me like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you to come down here? So I had to tell them like, you know what? I'm just like visiting some family, you know what I mean, for a little bit and blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, well, visit them and get the fuck up out of there fast, you know what I mean? Because Jake, the oppression, I mean, all these cities with Jake at, they all going through it. The curses is on our people. But certain areas and certain different places is like way more of a shithole and a hellhole compared to other places. But the whole Babylon gonna get hit when it's all said and done. So it says it's broken down. Every house is shut up, no man has come in. For there is a crying for wine in the streets. So people going to be looking for the truth of like what's going on, why the resources is depleted. They going to want answers. But the answers is right here in the scriptures. All joy is darkened, right? They probably was happy as hell crossing them borders, getting to Texas, jumping on them buses. Like, yeah, we going to send you to New York, man. So they're like, oh, yeah, New York, oh, shit. They probably was happy, smiling, joy, walking all through fucking South America up through Central America, hitchhiking, catching buses, finally made it to Texas and jumped on the bus to fucking Chicago or New York or California, one of these damn places. It was like, oh, shit. And they probably tried to endure for a little bit and deal with shit. Then they came to the conclusion like, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. You know? The joy is darkened and the mirth of the land is gone. Shalaka. The city is left desolation. Yeah, the resources. And the Lord going to smack this bitch with ICBMs and wipe the whole country out. Because America ain't nothing but a big city to the Lord, even though they say country. Because going back to Rome, you had city-states, and that's where you get the word citizen from. The root word is city. Because, like, no matter where you at in Babylon, you could get citizenship. Like, I still got my New Jersey license, even though I'm in Maryland. But they honor it. They like, well, you just over there. I mean, or I could switch it over and they'd be like, look, you know, if I choose to, like, hey, this is my birth certificate, Social Security, proof of address. Give me a Maryland license. They'll do it with no problem. So, it says the city is left desolation. And the city is left desolation. I'm about to say that's some bad grammar. I thought it says the city is left desolation, and the city is left desolation. And the gates is smitten with destruction. So this place is destroyed, it's gone. And a lot of people think like, yo, they was going to come here and eat. You ain't about to come here and eat. You ain't about to come here and prosper. All this shit is going downhill and circling the drain. But the Lord said his servants shall eat. If you was wise, you'll jump on this bandwagon of the truth. But then again, that's only for the elect. So a lot of people, y'all ain't going to come to that. And a lot of these tribes, they going to suffer. They going to come here. A lot of them going to get trapped here. They ain't going to be able to go back. I mean, you gonna go to these churches, hey, you could give us a plane ticket or get us a collection, please. You're gonna be begging. You ain't gonna have no way to, you know what I mean? Do no shit like that. So, hey, man, shit getting real. Stay prayed up. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to the next video. With that, Shalom.